Okay, how's it going, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. Okay, well, so in today's episode, I thought I'd try to say something about existentialism. More specifically, because existentialism often gets painted as a dark or negative outlook, I thought I'd try to talk about some of its more affirmative elements. And just a quick qualification. I know that existentialism is not one thing, and that there are many different thinkers who fall under the label of existentialist. So, what I'm going to say may not always apply to all of these various thinkers or to the many facets of existentialism. Okay, well, so that said, I said that existentialism has often been portrayed in a dark light. And that's not surprising, I guess. I mean, many existentialists tell us that there is no ultimate meaning to life, or that there are no external sources of meaning. And many stress the finitude of human life, the fact that it all ends in death. And so, in a finite life, without any ultimate meaning or significance, how do we make sense of the purpose of existence? And how do we deal with the anxiety that comes with questioning external sources of meaning? How do we deal with the scope of our choices and with the weight and the responsibility of our freedom? And what about the despair that the recognition of our death brings? You get the idea. The heavy questions existentialism brings up can leave us feeling a bit lost and quite gloomy, to say the least. Okay, but it's really important to keep something in mind here, and it's this. For all of its focus on the struggles of the human condition and on our spiritual ailments, I would say that ultimately existentialism is a deeply affirmative and constructive philosophy. So, how so? Well, for starters, by highlighting our own individual personal fears and vulnerabilities and relating them to the universal features of human existence, what existentialism ultimately does is it shows us that we're not alone in our struggles. In other words, existentialism, in a way, ennobles and substantiates our own personal worries and fears by relating them to those shared by all human beings. So what might seem so devastatingly personal and so inward and so unique really isn't. Now, you might say that this recognition has a couple of very important consequences. First of all, knowing that our existential concerns aren't unique to us can often soften our struggles. We feel a bit better when we realize that most people deal with similar difficulties. But second, and maybe most importantly, what the acknowledgement of our own suffering does is it gets us to recognize the potential for the suffering of others outside of us. So even though existentialism attends to what is personal, it isn't self-indulgent. And that's because it opens us up to what is personal for all human beings who reflect on their existence and on the human condition at large. So this can bring us together in a deep and genuine way, I would say. You might say that something like this is what Albert Camus had in mind when he talked about the importance of human solidarity. Okay, well, what else? How is it that existentialism, with all of its focus on contingency and anxiety and dread and death, how is it that it's actually an affirmative philosophy? Well, here's something else to consider. So, according to many existentialists, from a cosmic perspective, we're just a speck of dust. That's to say, our existence here is all too brief. And not only that, but the fact that we're here at all is entirely contingent. In other words, it certainly might not have happened. Now, on the face of it, this sounds like a cause for despair. And of course, many take it to be. But does it have to be? I don't think so. I mean, many existentialists stress that our existence, brief and contingent as it might be, is also, and because of this, a great wonder. That we're here at all is a marvel. That we get to be alive and conscious, and that we get to participate in this great drama of existence, all of this against the backdrop of an eternally dark and dead cosmos, is absolutely a gift, isn't it? You could say then that the proper existentialist response to our life is not despair, but a sense of urgency and gratitude towards that brief moment of existence that we're allotted. It's also to make the most of what we're given. Again, Camus comes to mind. As he says, if there is a sin against life, it consists in hoping for another life and in eluding the implacable grandeur of this one. Okay, well, so what else is affirmative about existentialism? Well, remember I said at the outset that according to existentialism, there's no ultimate meaning or purpose to our existence. And again, that might seem a cause for despair. But not so for many existentialists. For them, even though the world has, let's say, no intrinsic meaning, it's we who give life meaning. And we do it through our choices and our actions and our projects and through our way of seeing and approaching things. Now, that we're ultimately not the discoverers, but the creators of value and significance, that's pretty inspiring and ennobling, isn't it? Through our actions and our power of interpretation, we ourselves can transform the world and how it is we experience life. And by the way, this transformation applies to us as individuals too. I mean, according to existentialism, at least according to existentialists like Jean-Paul Sartre, we human beings don't have any sort of fixed or predetermined essence. And our path in life is not set by our given circumstances. No, we're shot through and through with potential and possibility. We can shape our own existence. We can transcend ourselves. That's to say, we can always go beyond what we've been in the past and what we currently are, and we can move on to entirely new actualizations. To put it bluntly, according to existentialism, our existence is pure, creative, active becoming. So as long as we exist, we're never finished. Again, how electrifying and inspiring is that? Bye for now.